Hello students, this is Dr. Nisha Varshney. Today we are going to start the first chapter of your class 10th geography. Very good, very nice subject. I love geography like anything because day and night we are part of geography, we are part of nature. Our body is also made up of 5 elements. You know that? Can you name them? Guess. Fine. So you just figure out. And these 5 elements are present everywhere: air, water, space, sun and earth. That is why we always call it 5 भूतों का शरीर बना हुआ है और इसी में मरने के बाद मिल जाएगा. So entire universe runs around these 5 things. The geography runs around these 5 elements. So we need to care about them, we need to understand them in deeply, and we should always think that if nature is not there, so it is very difficult for all of us to survive. How will we drink? How will we have food? How will we have fresh air? I hope Corona is a very good learning for all of us to conserve our nature, to respect our nature, to look after our nature, correct? So that we are going to learn in geography. Very interesting chapter. The first chapter is called your resources. Resources and development. We have already done in economics. What is development? Means to grow. Correct? How will you grow? So you normally see growth whenever you have more with you. So how would you make that more? You have to use nature. You have to take help of nature. So resources, whatever example to understand this, what is resource? So in your room, wherever you are sitting, so whatever you have, pen, pencil, book, laptop, anything, light, fan, AC, whatever you have, these are made up of, these are your resources. And how are they made up of? You know that they are made up of natural raw material. They are manufactured in factories. How have they reached to you? If there is no nature, you won't be able to use them. Then that is why we call that we need to conserve our nature. If we will not conserve, protect it, if the resources has gone, nature has gone. In short, nature has gone. Natural resources has gone. So what will happen? Will we be able to survive? We will have cars, but there is no petrol. We will have bottle, but there is no water. Correct? We have nose, but there is no fresh air. Correct? So chapter name is resources and development. Very, very interesting chapter. So the first definition of resource that we are going to learn: everything available in our environment, everything, small to big, correct, which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable, is termed as resource. There are 3 words they have mentioned here. Anything can become our resource once we have these 3 factors with us. First is we should have technology to use that resource. Coal is found in coal mines, but we don't know how to take out that coal and convert it into electricity. We will be able to use it. No, not possible. So there has to be technology. 1, 2, economically means whatever investment you are doing in getting that resource and using that resource, so it should be economically feasible. It should not hurt your pocket this much that you become bankrupt. So that would not become your resource. So it has to be economically feasible. Lastly, culturally acceptable means it should not hurt any culture. Here culture, we are not talking about human beings. The culture of environment, culture of animals, culture of birds, culture of river water, culture of soil. So it should not hurt, damage, exploit, deteriorate these culture. So that then we can say this is our resource. So TEC, remember, T, technologically accessible, E, economically feasible, C for culturally acceptable, TEC, TEC. To remember this definition, what is resource? I hope it is clear what is resource and why nature is important and why geography is important for all of us to study, because there are so many concepts have been emerged nowadays. Naturopathy, you must have heard about it, naturalistic people, vegan people. So what are they doing? Directly and indirectly, they are conserving the nature and living the life very naturally, not depending upon the so-called manufactured goods in the factories. So let us move a little ahead. What is resource? It is clear to you, and without that we cannot survive. But there are so many resources on this earth, so many. To understand which resource we have more, which we have less, and how can I use this resource and how cannot I use that resource, I don't know even how to use it. So to understand all the resources, we have classified them. Classification means making classes. In your school there are classes from 1st to 12th, and the students in these classes belong to different age groups because they have different needs. That is why we also need to classify. We have classified all the resources in broader categories to understand what we have, what we are lacking, and what can we import, or if we have more, so we can export also. We have classified here all the resources in majorly 4 categories. First is on the basis of origin. Very easy, you have done in science also. Origin means whether any resource is biotic or abiotic, living or non-living. So only 3 things: plants, animal and humans are living on this earth, and rest are non-living things. Air, water, soil, stone, minerals are non-living and called abiotic. So you have classified them. You know the population of the world, you know animals, you know the plant life. Yes, percentage of plants and number of plants are also counted by every country. So they have list what is the population, animals population, plants, which important plants are there and which are more in number. So they have all the list. So all people do this, all countries do this basically. Next, we have classification on the basis of exhaustibility. So the resources which are easy to renew. Assume if you are planting 10 trees, so you know that after 5 or 6 years they will become big ones. So you have renewed them. So some resources can be renewed, but there are some resources which cannot be renewed. If you have burnt coal, so you cannot build in 10 years or 100 years. It takes thousands of years. So that means in your lifetime you are not able to renew coal. So resources can be renewed and cannot be renewed. The second classification. And the third one is on the basis of ownership. All the resources found on this earth have been categorized into 4 types of ownership. What is ownership? Let us understand them in little detail, because the previous ones were very easy and you must have done in your science also, and from small classes you have been doing it, abiotic and biotic, renewable and non-renewable, and I am not going into the much detail of giving their examples, you know very well. I am going to explain you in detail on the basis of ownership. That is on the next page of yours. Fine. So after ownership, entire earth. Okay, let us talk about earth is made up of 2 things, land and water. So entire land on this earth, right, has been categorized by the people. I mean to say that that has been divided. Yes, how? It has been divided into continents, right? It is already there in continents, but further continents are divided into countries. Correct. So there are countries, those who have divided the land. So this is called the division of land. Further countries, then states, then district, that we know the flow. Next is water. Yes, water can be divided. I'm asking the question. Water can be divided. Yes, some sort of water can be divided, but beyond that, once the ocean comes up, it is very difficult to determine. So the boundary which is very close, water boundary which is close to your country is your resource, and the rest of the water, then it belongs to the international resource where nobody can claim it, where all have the equal access. So land is completely in your hand, means your country has the ownership. Okay, so the entire land has been divided into ownership. Next, the water is not divided, so we are going to do it in a few minutes, starting from the individual resource. Your house, your car, your parking area belongs to you. That is called your individual resource. Fine. Now your society's parking, your society's park, right, road, internal roads, they belong to your society, their community. It could be well in rural areas, it could be a grazing land for their animals, correct, it could be a marshy pond of the local area. So that particular resource belongs to, the land belongs to that particular community which owns that. Next we have national resource, as I've explained. So India's what is the land mass of India? 3.28 million square kilometer. That is India's land mass. In that land mass, whatever is being produced, mined, belongs to India only. So India is the owner of that resource, correct? So that is why it is called a national resource. In that we get so many things, you know, you are very well about, it's very clear to you, wildlife, forest, land, minerals, everything belongs to, comes under this, is belong to your country. Next, the question is of water. So you know the coastline of your country, that is 7516.6 kilometer. That coastline, right, that coastline and water close to it till 22.2 kilometer, till 22.2 kilometers belongs to your country, the water area. From that boundary to further 22.2 kilometer, that is called 12 nautical miles, belongs to your nation only. Beyond that we have international water, which is called EEZ, economically exclusive economic zone, correct? So that water, if other countries fall into that, so within 200 kilometers that will be shared. Beyond 200 no country can share that water. I am repeating, till 22.2 kilometer that water belongs to you, fine. And from your border coastline to 200 kilometer, that water is being shared if there is any other country. If there is no country, then again you can have access to that water, but you cannot claim it to be yours completely, fine. And beyond that 200 kilometer, every water, whatever water is there, belongs to the world. So that is called your international resource. So it is clear to you what is individual, community, national and international resource. So this is a third category of division of resources on the basis of community ownership, correct? And the next is on the basis of status of development. We have fourth category of division of resources. Again, you have so many resources. You check your home, something is being used every day. You go to the kitchen, let us take like salt and sugar, it is being used every day, fine. But there are certain things which are kept, we will see it, keep it, how to use it, correct? And sometimes we even do not know how to use it, and after some time we give it to someone else because we don't know how to use that particular thing. Somehow you have bought it or somehow somebody has gifted you. Same way, there are things, resources which are fully developed, correct? We know how to use them. So this is called your developed resource. But some resources we know that it can be used, but I'm not getting in my mind, I'm keeping it for my future. So this is called potential resource. For example, in India, Gujarat and Rajasthan has abundance of sunlight, but still we are not, able to utilize that light 100% in converting them into energy, solar energy. Okay, so this is called a potential resource, where you have certain potency to see that how can I use it. Third we have here is stock. This is the example which we of the resource which we are not aware how to use it. Here the example is very interesting. They have given example of 3/4 water, ocean water on this earth, which is not being utilized because that is a saline water. And once one section of scientists say the water has hydrogen, so we can create electricity out of that hydrogen. So first of all, take water and take out hydrogen out of it, then from that hydrogen create electricity to be used. Electricity is used everywhere, energy is used everywhere, so there is a crisis of energy in some of the countries, so it can be replaced. So even they are into the process of doing so. So some of the scientists are saying that how to run cars with water. So this is the technology, they are still into that, so they have kept that. So that is called the stock. That is called stock. This is third one. And the last one is reserve. We know how to use it, but it is very less. We cannot use it now, keep it for future generation. This is called reserve. Forest, some special wildlife, fruits, certain kind of species of the fruits and plants that we don't use it and we keep it for future generation, or you can say to regrow them naturally. So this is called the reserve. Here we have an example of, we know how to use them, but we are not using it. We are keeping it, we are using it in very limited. Forest is a very good example of reserve. So I have covered here the fourth category, and in that fourth category I have covered the four different sections of division. It is very much clear. Once you go and go on reading, it will be easy for you to understand. Next, the problem is of development of resources. Correct? Do you think that resources are being developed properly? So there are 3 points are given. First, depletion of resources. Resources are being depleted badly. And second point, accumulation of resources in few hands. We see that rich people accumulate a lot in their hands and they do not share with others. So this way there is a crisis always. So we see that unmanagement of resources. And the third, indiscriminate exploitation of resources has led to global ecological crisis. Indiscriminate means you have seen people waste water. I have shown here in one PPT, on every floor there is one swimming pool, and you can see there is one common swimming pool also. So people are using water so badly. Okay, you are rich, again we understand, but you cannot use that water for your personal use, and this much water is being wasted every time. So this is the problem of development of resources, that no, resources are not being developed, rather they are depleted. So question would come next. First question, what is resource? Second, classification of resources under different heads. Fine. And the third question, what are the reasons of depletion of resources? What are the reasons of depletion of resources? Here you have to point out these 3 points. Next question, after seeing this depletion, world governments are facing a lot of crisis. So what they have done? So what they are actually trying to do? So in 1992, there was a meeting in Brazil, and the capital of Brazil is Rio de Janeiro. And in there, there was a meeting of Earth Summit 1992. There these people, 100 countrymen or 100 delegates of different countries met and discussed about sustainability of development, that development should be there, but we need to sustain our resources, else we are not able to survive. So sustainability of development means use resource, but with judicious use, with your brain open. Do not use it indiscriminately, and those who are using it, punish them. So in that meeting, sustainability of development was discussed, but how will we do that? So they list down 21 points given under this Agenda 21, right? And they made this document, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED. In that they made this document that all of us will follow these 21 points in our respective countries. This way we will be able to save our natural resources. Clear? If question comes, what was Agenda 21 or what was Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit? Answer would be from both the boxes. In both the boxes, whatever is being asked in either of the question, you have to write Agenda 21, Rio de Janeiro, as well as sustainability of development. Answer would be, in Rio de Janeiro meeting, sustainability of development was discussed and following points were adopted in Agenda 21, through Agenda 21. That has to be followed by each and every country. Is that clear? So this is the most important question, and this is a question repeating here second time. Development, sustainability of development, that we already done in economics chapter 1 development. We did also there. Now we are doing it second time. correct? We need to understand in which context the question is asked. So which one you have to write. There you did two examples of UP, depletion of water resources, underground water resources and oil. Here the things are little different in explaining. You need to be very careful in which context the question is asked, in economical context or in geographical context. Next, in agenda 21, there was one thing is called which was important to be adopted by all the people, was called resource planning. Resource planning means go to your country and list down, classify your resources, which states are more in which particular resource, which states are lacking. So in the next paragraph you can see Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh are rich in minerals, coals and deposit, and Arunachal Pradesh has abundance of water, correct, and Rajasthan has abundance of wind and solar energy. So list down. Now you know which state is rich in which is lacking where. Now do planning. Next question, important question, what is resource planning and what are the steps of it? Write down, very important. What is resource planning? What are the steps? First point, identification of resources. You have identified, list it down. Second, find out best technology to use it. We should not exploit resource, or we should not use in terms of wasting it. We should use it properly, correct? Second is adopt good technology to use it properly. Third, exchange and reach to country's development goal. Rajasthan would say, I will not share my solar energy with you with Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh will say, I will not share with you water. Is that possible? No. Exchange. So this way you can achieve overall development goal of the country. And if you have something more, please exchange with the other countries. If you have something more, give to Africa. Or if America has something to more, share with India. Simple. So this is called resource planning in India. 3 steps are given, repeating you, very important, correct? So this way we can do best resource planning, and these are the ways to conserve resources. So next question is coming here, how to conserve natural resources. Why to conserve we are discussing. How to conserve we all know, even you must be knowing about 5 hours, which has been part of your education since beginning, but we need to practice those 5 hours, correct? There is one statement interestingly given by Gandhi. He said there is enough for everybody's need and not for everybody's greed. For need, if there is 8 billion population, so everything is there. Today also we have something to fulfill our need, not to greed. So we cannot work anything in that scenario, correct? So this statement is asked, who said this? Next question, how to conserve resources and who said this line? So far I have finished half of the chapter. Now I am moving to the half of the chapter. In this part of the chapter I am taking this chapter is taking 2 resources to understand of India. One is land, other is soil. Both are resource, you know uses of land, you know uses of soil. Now let us understand what is the position condition. So let us figure out how much land we have, what type of land we have, and how do we use it. So land resource, figure 1.3. So in India, land is divided into 3 categories. Plains is your 43%, mountains are 30%, and plateaus are 27%. I hope in class 9 you must have done it properly, what is plateau, what is plain, and what is mountain. After that, we have got list of land, how much land, what type of land India has. How do we use it? So in general, there are 2 questions. Land utilization, please write in general, and land use pattern in India particularly. So we have to see both. So in general, we know how to use land. First is forest, very easy. There has to be forest, else we are not able to survive. There would not be any rainfall. Okay. Second, land not used for forest. So to building houses, to make roads, bridge, we need land for that. Okay. And next is it is given some land is barren, wasteland, which cannot be used at all for any purpose, not for agriculture, not for forest, not to build anything, correct? That is completely waste land. Second is clear. Third is other uncultivated land means the land which we cannot cultivate but we need for some other purposes. A, pasture land, we need a land to for grazing for animals, else how will our animals survive? They need something to graze out, na? So some land we have to keep for them. Second, sometimes we are not able to grow for particular time period. So if you are not able to grow for particular time period, let's say for 5 years, because to regain fertility of the land, that you must have done in science, this is called cultivable wasteland in C. And in B, some land is called green belt. You must have seen in societies there is green belt. After road there is a green belt, there is a line of trees which is not forest. This is called tree groves. That has to be kept for the tree groves. So this is one other use of land. Fourth one is called fallow land. Fallow land means the A and B. The land which we are not growing anything, that is agricultural land, but we are not going for 0 to 1 year, is called current fallow land. And the land which we are not able to grow for 1 to 5 years is called other than current fallow land. And the land which we are not able to grow for more than 5 years is called cultivable wasteland. It can be used or not used, depends. So that is why it is given in 3 and the other one is given in 4. And the last one is called net sown area. Whatever is left with you, now you are ready to grow. So these are the 5 uses of land in general. Now let us move to India. How much land we use? So we know, as I have discussed you, we have 3.28 million square kilometer land in India, but out of that only 93% is used, 7% is not used because of some reasons of CUK, PUK and some places in Jammu and Kashmir or in northeast states, the forest area is not under our control because tribals are there. So that is why in nutshell, where the government has access, government bodies have access to utilizes called 93% land. So we have here 1.4 figure you can compare of to previously 1960s and now that how we have changed the categories of land utilization which we have just discussed above in general. Now coming back to the India. So 93% we use, start writing 3.28 million square kilometer total land area, out of that 93% we use, and in some of the states like Haryana and Punjab we use it 80%. But there are certain states like northeastern states where we use only 10%. So this is called changes in the land use pattern in India. And which one most important thing, please write down, India needs 33% forest, but we have only 23% forest. We need to increase that area. So again, this is that clear to you? What is 33% land utilization for the forest? We need to increase it. So that is the land use pattern in context of India only. To improve the forest land, there is a policy also, we are working on it. However, we have increased it, but not to that level which we should have. Okay. 2 questions. Land utilization. What is land utilization? If it comes, you have to write in general. If it is asked land utilization in India, that whatever I have explained you right here, you have to write all these important points. Next, land degradation. What is land degradation? Spoiling of land. Causes, very simple, you know it very well. And next topic would be the conservation. So what are the causes? So the causes are importantly deforestation. 1, mining, just mine, take out everything out of the earth and leave it like wound open body of the earth. Don't do anything to recultivate or to replant it. We don't do that, we just leave it. Use of excessive chemicals, use of excessive water. Yes, how during cultivation we use excessive water in certain crops which reduces the quality of the land, and in long run it helps in deteriorating the land completely. Okay, here we have certain states given in page on figure 1.5. And under that, what is written? Mining sites are abandoned after excavation works in a complete, leaving deep scars and traces of overburdening. States like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, please underline, very important. Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, deforestation is due to mining, have caused severe land degradation. In states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, overgrazing is one of the main reasons for land degradation. So mining, deforestation and overgrazing. And in Uttar Pradesh, over irrigation is responsible for land degradation. So these are the causes of land degradation in India. Very important question. Give heading, what are the causes of land degradation in India? And this entire paragraph will come as an answer. Next, how to conserve it? Last paragraph, above soil as resource. So what are the solutions? The problems, you convert them into solution. Deforestation, afforestation, mining, stop mining, use of chemicals, stop use of chemicals, over irrigation, stop over irrigation, do natural farming, correct? So these are the certain things that you can make yourself very easy. We have been doing in every chapter of geography conservation. So I hope it is clear. The last paragraph, afforestation, proper management, shelter belts, plants control, overgrazing, stabilization of sand dunes, etc. Correct? So these are some of the ways to control land degradation. Very easy. You look at this paragraph, above soil as resource, a small paragraph, you can write it as an answer. And the last is the next resource, which I have told you that I am going to discuss, soil. I hope soil is important. How it is formed, it is given in this picture 1.6, that is called soil profile. So soils are made up of rocks, and this entire earth is made up of rocks. So rock, then we have withered parent rock, then we have subsoil withered rock, then we have a topsoil where we grow the plants. So this is very general to make you understand how does soil form, and you have done in science also. And the soil is a storehouse of many living organisms. This is the home of many living organisms, and they are very important for best growth of the plants, correct? Let us move to the soils, classification of soils in India. So before doing that, I want you to open the next page of NCERT of map, soil map. So it is given here directly 6 soils are found in India. First of all, you know how is soil formed. Uses of soil, very easy. Now types of soils in India only. We are not looking at the world. There are 6 types of soil, and this is very important map. You have to learn it. This is geography's first chapter. So first map is this. First map is this. Mark soil. So we have forest soil, alluvial soil, red and yellow soil, black soil, laterite soil and arid soil. How many? 6. On top we have forest, then we have alluvial, red, black, laterite, arid. What you have to do in this? Write down. In every soil, first point you have to write how it is formed. Second, where it is found, means name of the states. Third, chemical composition if given any. Fourth, which crops are grown here. Fine. So these 4 things you have to remember of each soil, and you have to write in every answer. So let us start from alluvial soil. We all are aware that alluvial soil are formed in North India with the help of 3 major rivers, Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus. So these are the 3 major rivers. With the help of their tributaries, they brought lot of sediments from Himalayas and deposit in the plains. This way the soil has been formed in North India. But in South India, MGKK, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri have helped in formation of plains, which has helped in formation of this type of a soil. So ultimately alluvial soil are made with the help of rivers only, whether they are big rivers or small rivers, correct? Let us come back to the alluvial soil of the North India. They are further divided into 2 parts, Khadar and Bhangar. I hope we have done in class 9th also, Khadar and Bhangar. Khadar is an old alluvial soil which has some kankad and patthar in it, and Bhangar is a new fresh fine particle soil which is very good for the cultivation, and it is renewed every year after river brought lot of new water. Fine. And that you have to write in alluvial there is one more question, differentiate between khadar and bhangar, one marker. And which crops are grown? States, you know all the states, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, you can see, watch it easily. States I am not repeating. And last is what is grown here. So what is grown here? So sugar cane, cereal, pulses, everything is grown here. And what is chemical composition? It is good in potash, phosphorus, acid and lime. Correct. So 4 points you have to mention in every soil. Next, black soil. Black is also known as regular soil. Correct. And it is very good to grow cotton, which is written here. And it is formed after parent rock of volcanic region, means igneous rocks. After settling down the igneous rock, the soil is formed. After this, slowly and gradually, and it is found only in Maharashtra and Saurashtra, okay, and Malwa plateau. And the black soil are made up of extremely fine clayey material. They are well known for the capacity to hold moisture. In addition, they are rich in soil nutrients such as calcium, carbonate, magnesium, potassium, lime. So this is an important chemical composition that you have to write. And one important thing, that it gets cracked if it is during hot weather. So once you grow cotton, it is very important to make it moist throughout the 200 days period in which cotton is grown. Clear? Next, red and yellow soil. So it is basically red in color, but due to water retention, it converts its color into yellow. So this is somewhere it is red, somewhere it is yellow. You must have seen at that at construction sites. So this kind of a red and yellow soil you can figure out. So Odisha, Chhattisgarh are the major states where you find that, and this is found from the metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are old age rocks of igneous and sedimentary. Sedimentary rocks are sediments layer by layer, and igneous rocks are after the volcanic eruption formed, and their old age, igneous old age, and this sedimentary old age is known as metamorphic age. Fine. Next we have here laterite soil. Laterites means later, so that means later means bricks. So bricks are formed out of this soil because it is not very good for cultivation. Humus content is less, that is why it is used in making bricks, which is helpful in building up construction activities. And they are found in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh. And red laterite soil in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala are more suitable for the cashew nut. So it depends in which state are they, because climate and soil has to have some relation in building up the or developing any crop. So in Kerala and Tamil Nadu it is good in growing cashew nuts. Last we have arid soil. As the name is suggesting, arid means dry and with full of kankad patthar, and this is found in Rajasthan. Helped in growing cactus trees, you know very well, needs less water because of succulent leaves it has, correct. And this soil is basically to grow for bajra only, dry pulses can be grown, okay. So which requires less water, so that crop can be grown here, found in highly temperature area. Last, forest soil, as the name is saying, forest, where we have the forest is found there, good for growing low in humus and good to grow large trees, which helps in maintaining climate of the country and bringing lot of rainfall. So we have different kind of a soil here, not good for cultivation but good for forest. So there are two types of things, forest and cultivation, correct. Keep in mind, students normally interconnected, correct. Next, and I hope 6 soils are clear to you. Go through the map, do the map carefully, very important map. 4 things I am repeating: name of the soil, how it is formed, where it is found, and what is the chemical composition of the soil, and which crop is grown here. So these are the important factors which you have to mention in every soil. And I give you important question, always arid, this alluvial soil, black soil and laterite soil. 90% is asked, 10% other soils are asked. So 90% you have 3 soils to learn properly. Next we have soil erosion. The way we did land degradation, same, soil is erosed, it goes down, it goes waste. How? Who wasted? 2 major agents, water and air. Water, rainfall or glacier water or river water falls onto the land and just washed away the upper layer of the soil. Wind, you know, dry winds, you know, it happens when there is a Andhi Tufan. So this dry winds clears out upper layer of the soil, and which is full of nutritious. So upper layer is gone, so you are not able to grow anything. So these are the major two sources of soil erosion, and which is further bifurcated into two. This is called sheet erosion and gully erosion. Gully erosion means once the flow of the water is so pressure comes in with so pressure that it breaks the land into two parts, and in that the upper layer of the soil washed away. This is called gully erosion. And sheet erosion, with the help of wind as well as water, the upper layer is gradually, slowly, so much rainfall from 5 days, 6 days, and the upper layer is being removed if there is no tree. That is why we need trees to protect the upper layer of the soil, because trees does what? Tree holds the soil in their roots, correct? So if the land is vacate, there is no plantation, so it is very difficult to conserve the soil. So these are the important factors which is contributing in soil erosion. And last topic and last paragraph is of how to conserve soil. Please write on this top, how to conserve soil. So first, next question would be of yours. First of all, the 6 soils, types of 6 soils and the features. Apart from this, what causes of soil erosion. Next question, and last, how to conserve soil. So in soil we have so many things. How is soil formed in general, never asked in paper, because that is a scientific question and higher level of geography question of class 12. How is soil formed? But types of soil of India with all the features differently, you have to write 6. And then causes of soil, every year it is asked, causes of soil erosion. And last, how to conserve soil, correct? So how to conserve? 5 ways are given. Grass between the crops. Crops grow grass, so it will never, if there is a wind going, a strong wind is blowing, so it will not erode the upper layer of the soil, correct? Second, shelter belts, grow trees everywhere, shelter belt. 3, contour plowing. Contour plowing means make contour and do some plowing. You have to, you can watch some pictures on the internet what is contour plowing, so you will understand. Next, terrace farming. Terrace farming on the mountains, we do terrace farming because it helps in dropping down the soil from upper layer to the lower layer when there is a rainfall. So if there is a terrace farming is there, so the farms or the crops will hold the soil in their roots, correct? And I think these are the, everything is mentioned here, you can go through that. I have just summarized. The last paragraph is all about soil erosion. So this way we have finished this chapter, very important chapter for your examination and for your life also. How to use resources, how to conserve resources, fine. So I have covered so many questions here. You please go through all of them, write down properly, and please give chapter and test always. I am repeating in my every lecture, else it will not help you to get good marks, correct? And last exercise you can go through also, very simple multiple question, very easy and direct question. Geography is as compared to history and pol science, geography is very easy, direct question. There is no twist in the language also, correct? I hope this chapter is clear to you. Anything, I'm just a mail away. You can contact me and you can ask your questions in your doubt classes as well. Thank you so much.